Well, this is one of a couple video ideas I had today. I also want an excuse to show off my Manu Maximal shirt before Rise of the Beast came out, so might as well get this one out of the way first. I've been meaning to for a while. And here are my thoughts on the PS Plus release of the infamous Fallout 76. That's right. Finally doing it, especially since I brought it up a fair amount of times as a joke. Even as someone who played it briefly when it was new, who a few years back, I did not particularly care for it. So let's get to it. As someone who does have respect for the Fallout series as a whole, and openly admits to New Vegas being one of the favorite Western RPGs ever made, and I definitely did not know what to expect when I first heard about it. There's been many videos made on the subject matter, especially if you look at Jim Inquisition alone, from them, and in this regard, the fact that it's taken half a decade to even get it into a functional, let alone playable state is astounding. Don't get me wrong. I'll admit Fallout 4, from what I played of that, was not as good as 3 or even New Vegas, but most consensus on that one and seems to be that it was at least worth playing, and it's something I share. And part of me was at least hoping that this title could be somewhat in that vein. When the launch build came around, however, that hope was completely dashed. At that point, I didn't really touch it, and after that fact, especially with all the stuff like the mishandling of like the atomic shop and the infamous this this canvas bag being swapped out with a nylon one, and so and more content has come around to make it more Fallout like, but that I'd argue that the E3 conference that announced such, especially as the Microsoft BIOS being finalized, wasn't the idea that you share. Seriously, what the heck was in the water of that conference if it was they got a standing ovation for doing stuff that already should have been in there? What the heck? Even as someone who typically associates the series as a single player experience, and it's not. I'm not saying it would have been impossible to do an MMO, but when you're trying to horn in on a market that has definitely been well trodden by titles that have include Bungie's Destiny 2, who and many others. Hers that's the whole idea for that of these titles be your forever game, but if it doesn't hit you, and don't get me wrong, there's a core group of people who were standing by no matter what, but that's definitely how Device's title is. There are some people who, even now, who really dislike it. There's people who do find something to enjoy in it. I just think at this stage it's okay. I don't know what to expect from the next updates, especially since they're going to be invoking the Brotherhood of Steel, who are characters who I admit are kind of interesting to me, but to me, I still think that game is worse. Hers that was actually caused a franchise to go on hiatus for several years. And on top of that, it's a really terrible clone of Diablo as well. And but part of the fun can be had in certain modes, like this event that's going on right now. And but that's the whole thing. This game didn't do the worst financially speaking, though it did have like rated below expectations label, and they were slashing prices on it right after it launched, which is never really a good sign. And if I may be entirely fair, it wasn't going to have some stiff competition when it launched, which includes Unlimited 2, Red Redemption 2, who Call of Duty Black Ops 4, in my personal experience, I got my Switch, and many others were playing Pokemon Let's Go and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as for the established, as the particular sphere of title they chose to make was definitely when Destiny 2 was starting to really get had some major updates and content drops made. And if you're gonna aim to have people doing the same tasks again and again and again for hours on end, and you need to give them a sufficient amount of content, and that's probably the reason why I didn't even bother really playing this actively until it came on PS Plus, because at launch, there wasn't a whole lot for me there, personally. I'm honestly surprised I haven't just gone free to play at this point. I mean, to be completely honest, I mean, yeah. So a proper Fallout 5 is allegedly in development. Given the reception to similar live service disappointment Redfall, and now that generating some concerns about the upcoming Starfield as well, the former didn't leave much of an impression on me. I've been trying to be optimistic about the latter, but even I have to admit it's not really an easy thing to be a fan of kind of the franchise or the publisher right now, all things considered, man. I mean, but you needn't worry because I have other videos this week in mind. I'm just kind of woozy right now, especially given how. But thankfully, hey, I'm gonna try and get some rest tonight. And my Ponyo video is up and ready to go for this week. Yeah. Anyway, there's a PlayStation Showcase. It's coming this week as well. I might take a look at that, depending on how I feel, what's in it. Also, trying to think about when I want to do my next gaming vlog as well. Hell, I might do a video tomorrow, I might not, we shall see. Also, working on spoiler reviews of both Quantum Mania and Fury of the Gods. Definitely should be interesting things to talk about given the current state of those series, so that way off now, and I'll see you all again soon. Country roads, take me home.